Republican Senator Robert Bennett, a senior member of the Banking Committee, joins us now live. Your initial reaction to this budget plan, the blueprint, Senator?
Wow, that's my initial reaction.
Yeah.
We had heard
rumors,
rumors,
right?
Yeah, we had heard rumors that it would be around 1.2 trillion deficit. It's a projected 1.7 trillion deficit. You get it high enough, it's very easy to cut it in half by the end of the term, because that means he's projecting a $1 trillion deficit still towards the end of the term if the initial starting point is that high. I think we're going to have a hard time with this one. There's going to be a lot of fight over it.
Let's try to break it down. If you're talking about a $1.75 trillion deficit, that's 12.3% of GDP. The Reagan deficit back in 1983 was 6% of GDP.
This is the highest since the Second World War,
when it was 21.5%, but that was a wartime spending blueprint.
Right.
But let's talk about the details. What would you reject? Would you reject what he plans to spend on Afghanistan? You know, where would you cut? And he is talking about higher taxes, means testing, particularly the prescription drug benefit. Do you have an objection to that?
Well, I think this administration needs to take all of the spending together as a whole instead of looking at it in silos. They're looking at this particular budget as if we had not just done a $600 to $700 billion stimulus package, and we're poised to pass the 2009 omnibus bill that has a huge amount of spending in it. You've got 3 bills piling up on each other within a matter of weeks, and each one acts as if there was no spending in any of the others. There needs to be a lot of coordination here, because I see there's an opportunity for a lot of duplication. Now, the one thing that I do agree with the President on, and I'm glad to see him start to talk like this, is that the real solution to our long-term deficit problem is the entitlement spending. And that's why I have a program on both Social Security and health care to try to bring that spending down. He talks about that. I wish he'd give us a few more specifics.
But he does talk about really taking a hard look at Medicare. That's painful. That's to come up with the money. Of course, that's not just to save money, but to come up with the money to spend on extending health insurance to all of the millions and millions of people who don't have health insurance. Does he need to take another look at that? Do we need cuts before we expand?
Well, one of the things I've learned in working on the health care issue with Senator Wyden is that the greatest cost containment force in healthcare is quality. If you focus on quality, it seems counterintuitive, but in fact, you get lower cost. And the bill that we have introduced, Senator Wyden and I, has been scored as producing a $1.3 trillion saving over the next 10 years, even as it gets complete coverage for every American. That's the direction in which we can go: save money, provide coverage, instead of the old paradigm that says, well, the only way you get increased coverage is spend more money. CBO has scored ours and says that isn't necessarily true.
That's the Congressional Budget Office, of course. Let me play for you just a little clip of Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, who has a very different point of view on that.
This is an investment, and I would say to those who would criticize this investment, first of all, it is a priority. The health of our people and the health of our nation is a priority for us. The rate of the increase in spending in health care is very harmful to our economy. We are saving money by making this investment.
So I'm betting that you would want your Democratic co-sponsor, Senator Wyden, to call the Speaker's office and try to get a meeting with her to explain where you think the savings can come.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have dug into this so deeply over the past several years that I think Speaker Pelosi is using an argument that is old, it's outdated, it doesn't fit the realities of the marketplace.
Senator Biden.
I'll take it.
Senator Bennett. Vice President Biden, I'm either promoting you or demoting you, depending on your point of view. Thank you very much.
You put me in the majority, and I'll take that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, with us, you're always in the majority. Thanks so much, Senator Bennett.